my channel, Pen Code, where we'll be writing code using the Java programming language. Today we'll be talking about variables. What are variables, or what is a variable in programming language? Variable can be defined as labels that hold a piece of information. That is just it. For example, when you said x is equal to y, or x is equals to 10. Now that means x is holding a piece of information, which is what? The number 10. That is all what variable is all about. You can also look at variable as a container holding some contents in it, maybe like a cup, which content is either water or tea. Now that is all what variable is all about. You can say is a label that holds a piece of information, or you can say is a container that holds a content. And I've used an example, which is the example of you having a cup and water inside that cup. Alright, we can then move further and said this piece of information, we need to tag them either as a number or as a word. Now, if the piece of information you have in that variable, let's say x is equals to 10, now because it's holding a number and that number is an whole number, we can say x is an integer. Also, if we say y is equals to hello, it shows that y is holding a word, which is hello. That means y is a string. So this is how you are able to define the variable if they are either integer, which is a whole number, or if it's a string, which has to be in word. It's not just one word, it can be a sentence. So to explain this using the Java programming language, I would like to bring up my IntelliJ as we've done in the first video. And to proceed with this, we need to make our first example, which I said x is equal to 10. Now, because x is holding a piece of information which is number 10, and we know 10 is a whole number, that means this x is an integer. So we put int x. Now integers will represent integer with the word int, and is a number that ranges from 0 to thousands. Also, if you look at this line of code, you see that there is a red mark just after the number 10. The reason why we have that red sign is because we are yet to complete this line of code. Completing this line of code is we need to tell the compiler that we are ending that line of code, and by doing so we need to end it with a semicolon. As you can see that the red line has gone off. This tells you that we've successfully completed that line of code. Now, if we don't specify what type of variable is x, is it an integer or a string? Let's assume that we didn't specify, we just said x is equals to 10. If we run this, it's going to return an error message. And the reason why it's returning an error message is not far-fetched. It's just that the compiler doesn't know what x is. It doesn't know if x is a number, or if x is a string, or if x is a float. It's confused. It's just like we human as well. If I gave you a letter and I said, deliver this letter on Edward Street, you get confused because when you get to Edward Street, there are plenty houses on Edward Street. So which house do I deliver the letter? Is it house number 1 or house number 50? So you get confused. And the only way to get out of that quagmire is to return the letter back to whoever sent you and said, I can't deliver this letter. And that is exactly what the compiler will do if we run this code without specifying if it's an integer, if it's a string, short, float, long, or a boolean. So for us to tell the compiler what this is, we need to specify and declare that x to be an integer. Another variable that we can declare is a string. And to do that, you use the word string. And we can represent that with a z. And as I told you earlier on, I said string are words. They can even be a sentence. So if it's a sentence, so we can say and as I told you earlier on, I said every line of code, we need to end it with a semicolon to show that we're done with that. But if you notice, there is an error here. Some of the words there are in red. Why is this so? We did it for the integer and it works fine. There was no error message. We've done it for string and we are having an error message. Now, the reason is not far-fetched. If you're dealing with string, there is something you need to consider. Strings have to be in double quotes, or you say the one you call inverted commas. Now, if you don't put your string in inverted commas, it's always going to throw back an error message, because when you run this, the compiler is a bit confused. He's saying that, look, if this is not an integer because you didn't specify that it's an integer. Now, I don't know what this is because it's not in double quotes. So in order not to confuse the compiler, whenever you're using a string, it must be in inverted commas or in double quotes. And as you can see, that has resolved the issue. Now, what I want you to understand is that what we've done so far is we've done two things here. We've declared and we've assigned. Now, to declare a variable, you need to let the compiler know what the variable you're declaring, what it is. And the way to declare a variable is for you to, I'll take all this off first. And the first way for you to declare a variable is for you to, first of all, know what that variable is going to be. So if we're talking about age, that means the variable will be an integer. So we can now say int age, and we end it there. So at this point, we've declared age variable as an integer. Now we need to assign something to that age, which is the content. And then we can now say age is equal to 30, and we'll end that line of code as well. So what we've done at this stage is that we've declared age and then we've assigned a content to age. The same thing can be done to string. We declare address as a string and we can assign address. My address is not spelled correctly, sorry about that, to 30 York Street, and we end the line of code with a semicolon. So what we've done here is that we've declared the address as a string and we've assigned 30 York Street to address. So This is how you declare and you assign. However, you can also do this in one line of code. That is, you declare and you assign at the same time. You declare and you assign at the same time. And that was what we did in the first of all. That is, what you can do is you can just come here and just say this is equals to 30. We can get rid of this. And here you can come here and just say this is equal to dot, and we can get rid of that. So whichever way you do it is okay. I prefer using this method whereby I declare and I assign. However, I'm not going to tell you to stick to this one. But whichever way you think, whichever of this method you think you understand and you're comfortable with, that is what you should work with. The ultimate of this video is for you to understand how the code works and how you can code. As time goes on, you will notice that declaring and assigning is a bit longer and you get to correct yourself later on. But just get to know the basics. So whichever step you decided to use, I'm okay with that, in as much as you're comfortable with it. The other variable we can declare is we can declare a float. Now a float is a fraction, and is a fraction in 2 decimal places. So for example, 0.978 and so on. If you noticed again, it's throwing an error message. Why? What is the reason for this? If you looked at it, we declared integer, we assigned the number to it, and we ended with a semicolon. There is no error message. We already know that for string, it must be in double quotes, and we end it in semicolon. Okay, fine. So, what is the problem now with a float? And you're like, okay, why this error message? Now the problem here is that when you're dealing with float, you have to either cast the word float in brackets before the number, or you add f just after the number. And this is what I'm trying to say. Now if you cast float in there, it resolves the issue. Or if that seems a bit stressful, you can just add f just behind it and it solves the issue. Now the other one we'll quickly look at is double, and we can say double is d. Now double as well is a fraction just like float, but the difference is just that float deals with a very small number, in 2 decimal places rather, while double can deals with more than 2 decimal places. For example, we can say 0.5678910 like that, and we end it, and that is double. So the other one we'll quickly have a look at is boolean, and boolean we can just say b is equals to, this variable is, we're talking about either true or false. There is nothing again you can assign to it. Is either is true or is false, because this one we use it to test for something. Is it going to work or no? That is just it, and it doesn't take any other parameters apart from either true or false. Why? For integer, the parameter it takes is a whole number from 0 to thousands. A string takes parameters of words, which must be in double quotes or inverted comma. Floats will always take a parameter of 2 decimal places. And don't forget to cast float before the number, or you add f after the number. Double must be more than 2 decimal places, and the boolean will take a parameter of either true or false. There are also some um, variables that you can declare, and this is either long or short or so we have long, short, and there are some I can't even recall now, but we have loads of variables that we'll talk about in the video as we progress. So this is all you need to know about variables. So they are what they are they are piece of label containing they are label that hold piece of information, or you can say is a container that hold piece of information or that hold the content. So these parameters that we've assigned to the integer age is the content. All these are the content. So that is what a variable is all about. So this is where I'll end this video for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and also comment. You know, I'll like to get feedback from you. I know there might be something I'm not doing right, there might be something I'm doing wrong, or maybe you want me to explain something further, so I'll be able to do that. So until I come your way again, please do take care and bye for now.